Hi guys, so this is going to be my September wrap up and October TBR book video. I didn't do an awful lot of reading in September because just purely the fact that I was back to college, so it was a lot of kind of college stuff was going on. Loads of things have been happening in my personal life as well, and reading just kind of took a bit of a back burner. From August being a really kind of busy month reading wise and doing a load of reading and really getting back into books, October kind of, rather September, took a kind of a bit more of a backseat and it slowed down a little bit. But I did read some books. I read The Way I Found Her by Rose Tremaine, or Tremaine, I don't know how to pronounce her surname. The Way I Found Her, it is on my reading list for college, for my coursework, and it's what the book I'm going to be comparing to Atonement. I've decided I'm going to have compare those two for my coursework. So I read that and I finished it in September, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to write my coursework on this book. So that was kind of like a collegey kind of read. Another book I read was No, It's Us Two, and this was kind of a bit more of a, this is what the front cover looks like. I read it on my Kindle. Miranda Hart has brought out a new book called Is It Just Me? And it's kind of like all her embarrassing moments in her life, all the kind of embarrassing stories, and basically she did a free kind of Kindle book, or kind of like ebook, and she got everyone to kind of tweet in and email in with their embarrassing stories, and made a book kind of like it was by Miranda Hart and the general public, and it was really funny. And I sat and read it one morning in Cafe Nero. I was reading some of it and I just sat there giggling, and people looked at me like I was really stupid. Some of them were a little bit kind of like, oh my god, that's just so kind of generic and then a normal embarrassing story, but some of them are really funny and it really made me laugh. So I read that. I also read a really sweet book called Baked, and I'll see if I can find you the, it doesn't have a cover, but basically it's about, it's by Lacey Deary. Don't be able to see that. It doesn't have a front cover to it, so I can't show you. And it was a I don't know, I think it was really cheap on Kindle, maybe not even £1, and it's basically from the perspective of a jam donut, and they're sitting in a Greg's bakery and he falls in love with an eclair. It's so funny. It's really, really short, and it's like a little love story about this jam donut falling in love with an eclair and then them being bought by the same person. It was really funny, and I really needed a bit of an uplift, and so that was a really good book for me to read. And then I read Crossed by Ali Condi, which is the second in the Matched series. I preferred Crossed a lot more than I preferred Matched, and I think partly because you had Kai's perspective as well as Cassia's, which I thought was really interesting. I think Kai's voice is a lot more kind of mature than Cassia's voice, and I think that having the two and the switching the two worked really well. The only thing I didn't like too much about it was that every other chapter was, it went Cassia Kai, Cassia Kai, Cassia Kai, and you carried on flipping between the two, and I think that was kind of maybe too structured for the kind of story that it's about. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but from the story that it is, I think you could have maybe only had like, not had a rigid kind of structure to it, had maybe one chapter on Kai and then maybe two on Cassia, and then maybe one or two or maybe even three on Kai. I think the rigidity of the kind of Cassia Kai, Cassia Kai, Cassia Kai only kind of really paid off when they found each other. I hope I'm not giving away too much, but yeah, let me know if you want a review on it, and let me know how much in depth you want me to go in reviews, if you want me to give spoilers in my reviews or do a bit on it that's not got any spoilers, and then maybe do a section of the video that, right, spoilers time, and I can start talking about the actual book. But I preferred it a lot more to the first one, and the first one really kind of put me off, and I was like, but I know I'm going to like the second one more because it's of where the story's going. I felt like Matched could maybe have just been half the size whacked onto the front of this one. I know she's probably trying to make a lot of more money, but I found Matched really slow and dreary. It took me ages to actually get into it, and I want to say it took me months. Like, I read some of it, maybe I read a quarter of it, and I was like, oh my god, I can't be bothered to read any more of it. Put it down and didn't pick it up for months. and then I had 2 or a couple of months, and I really didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Crossed. And I can't wait for the next one, which I can't remember what it's called, to come out. It's definitely got a red cover to it. I can't remember what it's called though. I don't know if the back of the book will tell me. I don't know. But yeah, I read that in September. Now, October, I'm not going to give too many kind of to-be-reads like what I want to read, because I don't know quite how much chance I'm going to get. I'm turning 18 this month, so that is going to be a bit of a big thing, and I probably won't do a lot of reading. Obviously I'm back at college, I've got a load of coursework deadlines coming up towards the end, like the beginning of November, so October is going to be spent doing coursework. But I really do want to read The Maze Runner this month. I really do want to read it, and I get this read because it's amazing. I've heard so many amazing things about it, so I really want to read this. And I also really want to read Gone, because it just sounds amazing. It's quite hefty though. I mean, it's not hefty like the biggest book I've ever read, and the font is not that small. It's not really small, but I still kind of really want to read it. And obviously the other books that I bought this month I really want to read as well. I definitely really want to get into The Fault in Our Stars as quickly as I can, but I'm going to be realistic with myself. I am currently reading Looking Good Dead by Peter James, which is the second book in the Roy Grace detective series, and I am 16% through page 62 of 406. So I know I'm not that far along with it, but you know, I'm getting there. And it's the kind of book that's quite heavy, and you can't really sit down and read a load. Well, I find at the moment, the times of day that I am reading it, I can't just sit down and read a big chunk of it. I read it in just like maybe a couple of chapters at a time. It's quite a hefty book anyway. If you see the book in the shelf, it's quite big and hefty. So anyway, that was my September wrap up and my October TBR. What are you planning to read in October? Anything gruesome, because you know Halloween's coming up? Anyway, let me know in the comments if you want a review on any of the books I've mentioned, and also the format you want for my review videos. Do you want spoilers? Do you not want spoilers? Do you want a section without spoilers in a video and a section with? Just let me know, and I hope you have a good day and see you all soon. Bye!